There are consequences to your actions, Donald. And this is why the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, just announced that he will indeed powerfully and strongly enact retaliatory tariffs against the United States of America if Donald Trump imposes the 25% tariffs against Canada. Now, Prime Minister Trudeau went to Mar-a-Lago and said, look, we'll try this the nice way first, Donald. I'll take a trip out to Mar-a-Lago. Let me educate you what tariffs are. But then what did Donald Trump do? He acted nice. He acted like, okay. But then over the weekend, Donald Trump went on Meet the Press. And what did he say on Meet the Press? Well, I'm not going to show any Donald Trump video or audio on the Midas Touch YouTube channel and on our podcast, but let me tell you what he said. He once again threatened to make Canada the 51st state of the United States, mocking Canada. Donald Trump said, we're subsidizing Canada to the tune of over $100 billion a year. We're subsidizing Mexico to almost $300 billion a year. If we're going to subsidize them, let them become a state. To which writer Paul Krugman wrote, Wall Street is betting Trump's tariffs policy is not going to be totally idiotic. I wouldn't call that a safe bet. Also on Meet the Press, Kristen Welker, who did a horrible interview with no follow-up, asked Donald Trump the following. Economists of all stripes say that ultimately consumers pay the price on tariffs. Donald Trump goes, I don't believe that. To which Welker says, well, can you guarantee American families that they won't pay more money because of you? Donald Trump says, I'm not going to guarantee anything. Yes, you did. You kind of guaranteed everything when you were campaigning. So now, Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, after visiting Trump at Mar-a-Lago to try to educate Donald Trump, he's escalating. Let's talk about what is happening. This is from the Wall Street Journal. It says Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said Ottawa would retaliate with its own set of tariffs should President-elect Donald Trump follow through on his pledge to slap a 25% levy on imports from Canada. Quote, we will, of course, as we did 8 years ago, respond to unfair tariffs in a number of ways. And we're still looking at the right ways to respond, Trudeau said at a Monday event organized by the local Chamber of Conference in Halifax, Nova Scotia. The Canadian leader said there were signs that Americans are beginning to wake up to the reality that tariffs on everything from Canada would make life a lot more expensive for Americans. Late last month, Trump said he would impose the 25% tariffs. Trudeau then went to Mar-a-Lago. Donald Trump then went on Meet the Press and talked about making Canada the 51st state. This article from the Wall Street Journal also talks about what went down in 2018 when the Trump administration imposed tariffs on important steel and aluminum, including imports from Canada. The Trudeau government retaliated at the time with targeted levies on certain U.S.-made goods to pressure members of Congress from key U.S. states. Some of the products included bourbon from Kentucky, motorcycles produced at Harley-Davidson factories in Wisconsin, and ketchup in Pennsylvania. Those tariffs dropped in 2019 after a deal with the Trump White House were politically impactful to Donald Trump's party and colleagues. We were able to punch back in a way that was actually felt by Americans, Trudeau said. By the way, this Wall Street Journal article points out the U.S. and Canada have one of the world's largest trading relationships with annual two-way trade of nearly $1 trillion. According to the latest data from the U.S. Trade Representative, nearly 3/4 of all Canadian exports are U.S. bound, and economists warn that a 25% tariff would almost likely trigger a recession in both countries. Forecasting firm Oxford Economics calculates that a 25% tariff coupled with retaliatory levies from Ottawa would cause a recession in Canada. Based on its modeling, Oxford Economic estimates that non-energy exports would decline to 2.9% between early 2025 and 2026, and that business investment would drop 7% during the same time period. As Amir Salmanovic says, One simple question, maybe to Donald Trump, you should have asked Kristen Welker. Can you explain what a tariff is, Mr. Trump? No one's ever asked him that, not once. Yet another opportunity wasted by Welker. This whole economists say it's bad is pointless. He should explain how tariffs work here. Here's a funny account on Blue Sky called God. They really never bothered to Google what tariff means, he says. And then here's a cartoon of Santa. Dear Santa, 25% tariff on toy imports from the North Pole. Donald J. Trump. Just let's put some tariffs on Santa right there. By the way, this is Justin Trudeau from 2018 announcing the retaliatory tariffs imposed on the United States then. Here, play this clip.
It would be with regret, but it would be with absolute certainty and firmness that we move forward with retaliatory measures on July 1st, applying equivalent tariffs to the ones that the Americans have unjustly applied to us. I have made it very clear to the president that it is not something we relish doing, but it is something that we absolutely will do, because Canadians were polite, we're reasonable, but we also will not be pushed around.
And one of the points that Trudeau made clear yesterday during his speech, and one of the things he's making sure are known publicly, is he's going, Americans now are realizing that Trump's tariffs on Canada make life a lot more expensive for Americans. In other words, the F around find out crew who supported Donald Trump didn't know what tariffs are, then started Googling, what's tariffs? Oh, wait a minute. You're going to make my cost of living go up, up, up. All the prices you said you were going to decrease, which President Biden was decreasing, you're going to make it more expensive, right? By the way, Donald Trump was asked by Kristen Welker about that as well. Can you guarantee the American people? You heard what he said. No, I can't guarantee him. Prices will probably go up. Really? Really? Douglas Irwin cited the following from Paul Krugman's article. The bottom line from Paul Krugman's analysis of Trump's tariffs is the following. So what's the bottom line on the pros and cons of Trump's tariff proposal? Cons. The tariffs would impose large burdens on middle and lower income families. They probably wouldn't significantly reduce the trade deficit and might actually hurt American manufacturing. And unilateral U.S. tariff action would wreak havoc by fracturing the world trading system. Pros, I cannot think of any. By the way, Fox Business joins right now. They weigh in. They join, I guess, Truth for half a second after lying the entire election. Fox Business now says Trump's proposed tariffs could drive up food prices, experts say. Grocery costs are between 20% to 20% higher than they were 4 years ago. Wait a minute, I thought like a miracle it was all going to go away. You were going to lower the price on the day one. No, wait a minute, they're going back up. This is from Fortune. Fear of Trump tariffs is causing Americans to stockpile toilet paper, medicine, and food before prices rise. Great work, Americans. You've now brought yourself right back to the COVID days where people are stockpiling toilet paper, medicine, and food. You know, you didn't have to go there. You know, you could have just, I don't know, like supported the current administration where things were under control and where Donald Trump's cataclysmic, catastrophic mess was being fixed. I don't know, you could have done that, but now, F around and find out, you're now stockpiling toilet paper, medicine, and food before the prices rise. This is from Fortune. 1 in 3 consumers plans to spend more money this holiday season, and the top motivation is fear of higher tariffs under Trump. According to a survey by creditcards.com, nearly a third also expect to take on more debt to make their purchases. Americans are bracing for higher prices when Trump returns to the White House, as he's pledged to impose sweeping tariffs. Now, how am I supposed to explain this when my baby girl and my little daughter grows up? How am I supposed to explain this to him? You see, what happened was the American people, they were very much aware of Donald Trump gonna screw them. They knew it, but they voted to be screwed rather than be helped. They voted to help the billionaires rather than themselves. Consumers aren't waiting for the products to get more expensive. Instead, they're loading up on the items now. 1 in 3 Americans plans to buy more, and fear. They chose to instill fear in themselves. And fear of higher tariffs is the leading motivator, with 39% citing them for stepped up purchases. Other reasons includes worries about supply chain disruptions, societal instability, recession, and another pandemic. In other words, people are freaking out now. But they made themselves freak out. They voted for the freak out versus stability. I don't like doing F around, find out stories, but why I'm bringing this up right now as well is because Justin Trudeau, and he recognizes this, Claudia Sheinbaum in Mexico, they're our allies. Trump attacking our allies. What about our trading adversaries? How weak of a negotiator can you be, as Trump is, when he just word vomits all these promises? If you're President Xi, you know you got Donald Trump right where you want him, because you hold the power to just, boom, make it all come crashing down. You want to tariff us? Okay, we'll tariff you. Good luck. Donald Trump's trade representative, this guy, he talks about decoupling from China, which he says will cause severe temporary hardship on the American people. It's like the same language of Elon Musk. Economic hardship the people must experience. Really? People worth $500 billion are saying that we, the people, need to experience economic hardship? And just as a matter of negotiation, you're screwing your ability to even have legitimate conversations with people who you're going to tariff, because they know that the American people were promised a bill of goods and they can exploit that. Wall Street Journal writes, why tariffs could really pinch retailers this time, how retailers might respond to looming tariffs. Here's an interesting one. This is an example just how consumer prices will be impacted by the tariffs. A $40 toaster oven will now cost $48 to $52 after the tariffs. The price of a $50 pair of athletic shoes would jump to about $59 to $64. A $2,000 mattress and box spring set would end up costing about $2,128 and $2,190. Oh, but the price of eggs, guess what? They're going up too. Donald Trump is appointing people who don't believe in infectious disease to run HHS. So you know how H5N1 right now, the avian flu, is out there, and how it's been detected in raw milk? Well, HHS wants to bring in raw milk, advocates for raw milk, pro-raw milkers. The pro-raw milkers, they want to run the HHS milk policy while you have an H5N1. And now Americans are citing their fear of another pandemic as a reason that they're stocking up on like toilet paper again. Like, I'm in the twilight zone here. So what do we do? Why am I telling you this? We got to call it out. We have to let people know. We have to be specific in our facts. And you can tell already Prime Minister Trudeau sees Trump as weak. All of our Canadian viewers were telling me, a lot of them were saying, look, Ben, that was the right move for Trudeau to go to Mar-a-Lago. Start there, escalate pressure, make the Conservative Party, led by Pierre Poilievre, the Doug Fords, that crew that was sucking up to MAGA, make them look like the whiners and complainers and MAGA kiss asses that they are. Show you're the reasonable one. Call out the conservative MAGAs in Canada. Escalate responsibly. And you're all right. You're all right. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the Midas Touch newsletter at MidasTouch.com/newsletter.